Hey, what's happening? How are you doing today? Thank you so much for being here. This is Cool Cars with Chris. I am Chris. We figured that out. And sitting there, right over there, is the man, the myth, the legend. He's got courage, and his name is Courage. Courage, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. Great to always talk some cars, get on and hop on. So I'm glad to be here.
Dude, what is going on in the world of cool cars? Courageous cool cars these days. You know, how's the Elantra N treating you, man?
Yeah,
Is it doing good? I'm sure it is, right? Yeah.
doing solid, man. I mentioned to get it out on some track stuff again now. Get it back out to my little drag strip or something at some point. Get some speed under the belt now since I got it back.
You know, I wish there was like a place, not so much a drag strip, but a place that you can like really open up your car. Because here in California, they are literally like yanking cars and yanking driver's licenses
Yeah,
if your car is clocked at 100 miles an hour, which
yeah,
sounds like a lot if you drive a minivan. Yeah, I
yeah,
know. But if you have a
yeah.
Z, like I do, you
Mhm,
can zoom up to 100 miles an hour fairly quickly if you keep on going. Like you
mhm.
have to have some restraints when I get on the freeway. Like I get up there to like 80 very quickly, and from 80 to 100, it's only like 20 more miles per hour. You hammer it down, it'll take you there. And so I wish there was a cool place that you can go to, like a track or something, to where you can like
Yeah.
see how fast your car can go, like an autobahn basically, but not an autobahn. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny that you brought that up because there's a event that they do out in like Bakersfield area that's like a half mile, drag essentially. They do it as like a rolling start, but it's a half mile kind of run on an airstrip out in like Bakersfield area. But I was talking to a guy who used to actually put on events at a hangar here in like kind of it was in Riverside County, so Imperial Valley area. And he basically talked about how for a while they had great events, great turnouts. Everybody behaved themselves, but they had one or two instances where people decided to just get crazy on the airstrip. And the one time that they did it was with one of their last events. The manager of that facility happened to be there while this guy's doing a big, huge burnout on one of their runways, and basically that shut down that event, but it also shut down the potential of starting to do like a potential half mile event on that runway. They were already talking about doing it. And because somebody just so happened to do that wrong place, wrong time type deal, the whole thing fell through. And so just hearing that, hurt because yeah, I agree. It would be awesome to have something where you can really open it up and get to some of those parts of the speedometer that you don't get a chance to see or that
Oh,
you
for
shouldn't see.
sure. Like I don't know realistically what the top speed is for my car.
Yeah.
I think that according to the specs, like if you look at the spec sheet from Nissan or whatever, I think it's like 155 or whatever. But I've seen videos of 350Zs on the Autobahn go like 160 and the 350. So you would think a 370 would go faster than that. If I were to take a guess, I would say probably can do close in the 160 range if given it a good like place to do it. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that speed, like, not only do they like yank your license, they probably crush your
Oh
car.
man. Yeah. That is just it's just
The
gone.
risk is way too high. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, especially as a driver myself, losing my job, losing my license and my car and like everything, like it is be completely like basically you're gonna make me homeless now. You're gonna
Yeah.
like totally ruin everything if this happens or whatever. So you have to be very, very careful. I know you can get carried away, especially at night, dude. I'm flying on the freeway and I'm just like zoom passing people. But every time I see headlights behind me, I automatically think it's a cop.
Yeah.
Always just think it's a cop. Until I get closer, I can tell. But if they're back there, I think, oh, there's a chance it's a cop. Because sometimes I'll be driving and I look a car back there and I see it and I'd be like, oh, okay, whatever. And then he goes by me. Oh crap, that was a highway patrol.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize it was, earlier until he went right by me, And so I remember one time going to work in the morning, I was late for work. And so when I used to work day shift, I had to be there incredibly early in the morning, like 3 in the morning, I had to be there. And so I'm going to work, I'm late for work, I'm flying, I'm getting on the freeway from one on ramp to the other on ramp, and I'm flying onto the freeway. I'm in my old pickup truck, not my new one, but the older one. I called it a
Yeah.
Silver Bullet. Had a Coyote engine in it, but whatever. Anyways, I'm probably doing a good clip, flying to work, and this highway patrol pulls up right next to me on the freeway. and like literally like matches me speed for speed and like looks over at me, gives me the look, and I do the like, hey, what's up, baby? I gave her the whole. This is a female officer.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what's up? Like playing it cool, like no big deal or whatever. And I think she just kept on going or whatever.
She just kept going. She didn't even like tell you like slow down. Like she was just
nothing,
like, she
nothing.
just gave you the look.
I think the thing was they just kind of realized that I realized that they were there watching me to watch my speed kind of thing. And usually what a highway patrol will do is they will like pace a car and just see what the car is doing for a good clip before they pull it over. It's hard to tell. You'll see a cop flying down the freeway. You're like, who are they after? And also they pull somebody over. Okay, well, okay. They must have saw them, I mean, different factors for different things and things like that. They know what to look for. And when you're driving, you have to know what they are looking for to avoid those things so you don't stand out in the crowd. And I think I've kind of learned those patterns, those behaviors, the more I've been driving versus when I was a lot younger, when I used to get pulled over all the time. And I don't know why or whatever. And I see videos of these guys getting pulled over all the time. They get state refed and all this crazy nonsense. But of course, maybe they're revving the engine. Maybe they're got tinted windows, on the windshield or whatever, and all that. And they got underglow, hint, hint. And they've got loud exhaust and who knows what. Maybe they got a 360 cam hanging off the back window. I don't know. I mean, these could be telltale signs.
To my knowledge, that ain't illegal, but yeah.
But it could be like a cop sees that, like, oh, what's this guy up to?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing. And so about
things
my
that make
car,
you stand out. For
you're
sure.
right. I want to try to make my car like not stand out, even though it's a cool car, but still like a mellow color. It's not bright red or whatever.
You're not wrapping it yellow at some point anytime soon?
I thought about it. I did think about it yesterday. I did think about this yesterday, getting new wheels for it. Because you can't see this, but just over there on the other side of the wall there is a picture of my old Z. And it's got the old rims on there. I'm like, I miss those wheels. Those are nice wheels. And I'm like, man, some wheels like that'd be kind of cool someday, maybe. But I'm like, I don't know, maybe we'll see. But yeah, I don't want the car to stand out, so I removed the window tint and try to keep things mellow. All the cars got the exhaust out, just a little louder, but it's not crazy loud. I mean, heard louder cars. It is what it is. We have a cool car. You want your car to be cool, and sometimes
you live in California, though. You run a risk. Yeah.
You definitely run a risk. Being here in California as a car enthusiast, it's definitely risky, but it's not the only state that's got like I've seen videos from other states that basically do the same stuff, if not worse.
Yeah.
They're getting pulled over for all kinds of stuff. You went 66 and a 65 and, we're state reffing you because you have a loud exhaust or all these different things and stuff like that. And in other states. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Not all. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I mean, to your point, though, yeah, it's like there's a lot of things you can do to make sure that you're not as much on the radar as, some other people that may not do it or they don't care. But I did have a funny situation recently. I was on the 15 and I was in the carpool lane, the HOV lane, and there was a guy. It looked like, I think it was like a early 2000s Accord or something like that. But I mean, the guy had like the bumper was like, you ever see cars where like the bumper's flapping because like the fasteners on like the front.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, like, all the time. Like the bumper's flapping and everything, like on the front and the
flag.
back.
It's a bumper flag.
Yeah, like and he was going pretty quick. And I saw a highway patrol coming into the carpool lane pretty much right when he was getting ready to pass me. And so, I kind of slowed down and let the highway patrol go ahead of me. And he went around me. And so I was like, okay, let's just watch this. Like, see if he maybe didn't see. And then maybe he's going to do the whole thing where you see him start to speed up. But then once they see the cop, they slow down. Guy was pretty bold. Like, even with his like car looking like it's going to fall apart, he still ended up actually going past the cop, which I knew he was I was going about 75-ish, close to 80. Cop was going faster than me, but he passed the cop. And I'm like, you must be a bold guy. And
I hate passing. Even when cops are going slow, I hate passing them.
Yeah, it's always a nervous like type situation because okay, is he gonna want to just exercise some power after you pass him or everything? But after this guy did it, I noticed the cop kind of like stayed behind him for a while, and he actually went off. If you know that like carpool exit that takes you to the 163 from the 15, where it's like kind of an on ramp or an overpass kind of deal. He, at first it looked like the police officer was going to go straight, But when that guy decided last minute he was going to go on the 163, he followed him over. So I'm pretty sure he ended up pulling him over once they got over the overpass. But I'm like, hey, it's like, I don't know if that's what you wanted, but I wouldn't have been as bold as you, especially in that scenario where, stuff's falling off your car to do that and pass the cop. But,
right.
to each their own.
Probable cause right there. And they'll start tossing the car and looking for everything. It's what it really, it's what all these videos, they always say, like, because the guy will, ask the cop or taunt the cop and say, why are you pulling me over or whatever, And they'll say because, your light's out or because you went 1 mile over the speed limit or registration tags are invalid or because your exhaust might be too loud. So now I think you have everything modified. So we're going to do a full investigation. And the funny ones are where the cop is looking under the hood and he doesn't know what he's looking at. He's looking at different things. He's like, yeah, that's an engine. All right. I think. Yep. And those are thingabobbers. And that's a thingabobber jiggerbobber, whatever. Whatever. And so I think the thing is that like with my car, for example, like so low to the ground, so you can't even see the pipes if you wanted to. Like even if you got in there and underneath the car, you can't tell like anything, because it's so low or whatever. But but the thing with me, if I get pulled over and they did check the hood under the hood, and you do see the intake, the cold air intakes on there, they are CARB-Legal. There's a CARB-Legal sticker right there on the hood, right there. So it's a California legal, smog emissions intake. And that's why when I bought the car, I wanted to make sure it was legal. So I did take it to the shop and I had the guy, smog place. When they did the inspection, I said, check it out. Yeah, I'll pass smog. Check for codes, check for tunes, and that kind of stuff. I'll make sure that like, if I, heaven forbid, ever did get a state ref, there'd be no problem, But I kind of wonder, because I did talk to that guy about at the Cars and Coffee about his state ref he got. And he told me that they wanted everything to go back to stock. And I said, well, was it not like, did not pass smog? Like, he didn't really tell me what was on the car or what he did to the car. He said he'd take all the parts off, put stock parts back on, get it passed. But he did say that if he gets pulled over again, that they take the car or something or crush the car. They do something bad to the car. You lose the car maybe. Because
what was he driving?
The Subaru.
Okay.
The guy, the guy, I've seen him before at Cars and Coffees, the blue Subaru, older guy.
Oh yeah, and he's got like a Subaru RC car.
Yes. Yeah. He was telling me that his car's stock now, and I'm like, oh, how interesting. I was kind of fascinated with older guys like souping up a Subaru.
Souping up a Subaru, yeah.
So, but hey, souping up the cool cars though. Tonight on Cool Cars with Chris, you were going to tell me that there are some car brands that kind of like decided to go outside. They basically colored outside the box. Really?
yeah. That's a good way of putting it, especially with one of them that we'll probably talk about. But yeah, it's. I think we all know about kind of special edition, models of cars, and just regular, like say, limited run versions of cars and things like that. But I know some people have heard about these, but I just was on a kick recently of just kind of looking up these, really sort of random collaborations between, not even car brands themselves, but between, other brands, clothing brands or lifestyle brands. And some of these cars that people probably never either didn't know existed or didn't really know how common they were, just kind of in and around.
Well, this has been going on for years. I mean, my truck itself is a F-150 Roush. Almost called it a Raptor for a second there. It's a Roush, and I know Roush, has worked with Ford for their Mustang division, and now they deal with their F-150s. I think they do Rangers. I know they do Broncos. I think they do Broncos, and they definitely do F-150s and Mustangs. Yeah. And same thing with Shelby and Saline too, and that's kind of the same thing. But you're talking
those are a little bit more. I'd say those are a little more common in a sense where there's like it's a manufacturer or another manufacturer kind of upgrading, say like a stock vehicle to say like
Hennessy does one too. For
their Hennessy. I
forget who else, but there's a bunch of them out there called Shelby, things like that. But those are mostly performance brand type stuff. Mm-hmm. But That's
There's
not the only.
some stuff, yeah. There's some stuff where it's a little bit more like just mostly visual. More so of like, hey, the people that shop at this clothing brand also are maybe interested in this car. Let's like collab and kind of do something. They kind of merges the two worlds together, sort of thing. And that's maybe a little bit more what I'm talking about in this scenario
But,
is like.
but the question I guess I have is that would you buy this car like this in this condition from the factory, or would you take it to a special place and have them do it like this?
For some of them, they were actually manufacturer like provided packages that and very some of them questionable.
One of one. Literally.
Yeah, some of them questionable. Some of them like even being like they made like say 100, 200, whatever. Like some of them, one of the ones we're probably gonna talk about is like way more common than than I expected actually. Like I probably saw it all the time.
So for those listening, we're going to be showing visuals of these cars that we're talking about right now, but I will do my best to describe what we're talking about. But if you're watching this on YouTube or wherever video you get your videos, you'll see what we're talking about right here. So we have three different car companies making three different radical or somewhat subtle radical or barely a sneeze radical kind of car designs, but they did change their brand. It's a different brand division, I guess, of their car. And some of these are pretty rare, I'm sure. I wonder if some of these are actually worth some money. So which one did you want to start with tonight, Courage?
We'll probably go with the oldest, I think.
Start with the oldest? Okay, so let's find the screen share on here. And let's see. I got to move it to the oldest first. Okay, so.
We're going back doing that for any Gene enthusiasts out there. I think you guys will enjoy this one.
Oh my gosh. So we were talking about the 1973, before I was born, way before youngster Courage was born. I mean, Courage wasn't even thought of back then.
Yeah.
My goodness. Way back in the past. 1973, a blast from the past. AMC Gremlins, which are probably known as like one of the worst cars ever. I don't know why they're so bad. They just probably they have like that Pinto style. So let me show you what it looks like. It looks like this right here. Yeah. This is the 1973 Gremlin. And it looks like a sports-ish car from the 70s.
Sports-ish.
It does have that long nose and like kind of like hatch in the back, kind of that bottleneck, kind of almost like a Z, kind of. I mean, if you're super drunk and super like lost your glasses and you were like, where's my Z parked? And you stumbled in this car. Maybe.
Hopefully you'd stumble in there with somebody else, but yeah.
Maybe. Now, this car did they teamed up with Levi's jeans back in the 70s. If you remember, like jeans have always been popular. Like, I mean, I wear jeans and people have jean jackets and those are popular. They always were, and they probably were more popular back in the 70s, maybe 80s. I think 80s might have gone more leather than jeans.
No. But that's interesting.
The 1973 Gremlin here does have what is called the Levi's package. And just look at it in all its glory. You got a blue, because it's blue jeans, of course. Why not? It's got a blue color. What color would you call it? It's kind of like a lighter blue. I guess it's a blue jean color. It's got to be blue jean color.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, I've seen some blue jeans kind of that, like, I think the lighting makes it look a little lighter blue than it probably is, but it's definitely more like kind of like a sky blue-ish, like, kind of deal. So,
well, look at that interior. I believe that is, in fact, blue jean.
It does look like jean. Yeah, that was what I thought the coolest. Like, honestly, on the outside, it is cool to see the Levi badge on it, which is cool. Gremlin, everything else, like nothing else really changed, but to see the Levi badge, really cool. But to have like what looks to be legitimate, like jean material on the seats, and looks like there's maybe some little trim pieces in there too.
Yeah,
that I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, on the door. I mean, and the carpet's blue also.
The carpet's blue, which I just can't even imagine.
If was it the Barney was purple? I'm thinking of what other character was blue like this? Like a little this. Maybe like some Cookie Monster. Maybe I'm thinking of
Smurfs or Cookie Monster. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and. Listen, man, this has got 70s written all over this thing, man. I mean, you tell you, the chicks you pick up with this car. Let me tell you, this car
back then.
if this car could tell the stories, man, the back seat, got to get a blue light for the back seat. Let me tell you.
Oh my goodness. Dude, these did have back seat. Yeah, they weren't 2 seats. So yeah, that back seat has just got to be front-engine non-existent though in terms of space. Like,
it's like a modern sports car. It's like literally like, but these things were front engine rear drive, I believe. Like they all were back then. Or were they front drive? Do you remember?
I don't. I might have to look that up because
I'm taking a wild guess here. I'm just thinking that it's probably rear drive. I don't think front wheel drive became like a modern thing till like the 80s, I think. For most American kind of cars, like these cars, we're talking early 70s, coming out of like the Mustangs and like, Dodge Darts and things like that. Those were all rear-wheel drive cars. Of course, the Camaros, things like that, all rear-wheel drive cars. So I'm sure it was probably a little four-banger in the front, whatever. But hey, stylish car, man, back to the 70s.
I think, honestly, if this was like a modern car, I think people would eat this up. Like if AMC was even still any semblance of a company right now, and they were coming out with something like this.
Worth, though, like if you were to sell this at auction or whatever kind of deal, like what'd you give for it? If it was in good condition, not like a crap condition, but good condition, like this.
Yeah. Like if it looked like this, like in this state, there's probably some enthusiasts out there. Like, I wouldn't even have any kind of remote guess of it because I highly doubt that the driving experience.
I know who would own this car? Who should own this car? I thought of this just now. Jay Leno. Because he always wears the denim, like everything.
Dude, that's a really good point, actually.
Yeah,
I wonder if he has a Gremlin in his 150 plus car collection or whatever. Like he seems like the kind of person that still would appreciate, just what the Gremlin stood for, even though
I'm sure he does. I have no idea, dude. I have no idea. That's a place that I would like to go hang out and tour and talk to Jay Leno personally, and just kind of walk around and just like have coffee, hang out with him. That'd be super cool. Like that would be like a bucket list, Yeah, for me, anyways. He seems like a really cool guy, but it could be wrong. He could be a total jerk in person. I don't know.
People I know people that have met him, and they say he's actually a pretty cool guy in person. The one that they say is like not that. I mean, he's an interesting guy, but he's maybe not the nicest guy. Is Jerry Seinfeld?
Oh yeah,
Seinfeld's a little more
pretentious, probably whatever. Hey, speaking of like things from the '90s, like Jerry Seinfeld. The next car we have on here comes from 1996, and it is from a company called Volkswagen. They made a thing called the Golf. And what is going on with this car? I got to not describe nothing. This car right here, as you can see, which you can't see if you're listening on a podcast, the 1996 Volkswagen Golf is the Harlequin edition from Batman. Now, I believe Batman was a comic book back then. They do have movies out now, but back in the 90s, it was probably more focused on their cartoon they had and probably the comic book stuff. Now, if you're looking at this on video, the car looks like they decided to grab a bunch of random, already pre-painted quarter panels and doors from their parts bin and said, dude, we got to put a car together and we only have these parts left. Throw it together. Right?
Looks a lot like that. Like, yeah, either you sneezed or you're what do you call it? The factories, like, what do you call it? What do you call those manufacturing assembly lines? If it just went haywire and just put whatever color panel you had next, like on the line and put it all together. But yeah, it was a thing. I think they even did like a new kind of modern, it was a little less, kind of out there, but they did another kind of homage to this like Harlequin version, I think, as a modern Golf. But yeah, this was a legitimate thing from Volkswagen. It was something I've been pulling up here because I just thought it was just hilarious because this was their marketing. Was they had an article where they were like, we're when your significant other tells you to just pick a color, but you're indecisive. So it's just, I mean, this thing really existed. How do you
describe that to like, I mean, anywhere you got to take the car to or or like, how do you like when I had to get parking passes from my place here.
That's exactly what I thought. Like when you valet the car.
What kind of color could you sign in your paperwork? What color brand is? What color is the car? You're like,
Multi.
I don't know, all of the above. What gets me though is that they don't say Harley Quinn or Batman or Joker or anything on the car. So like, if you saw this in like out in the wild, you'd be like, what the hell is that? What's wrong with you? Like, what's wrong with you? Seriously, first thing I thought, like this guy's obviously colorblind. This guy bought this car totally colorblind. I feel bad for the guy. He doesn't know what color his car is. He doesn't know. He's driving everything. A rainbow. It's Skittles. That's what I call the car. I would put like full Skittles package on the outside.
Skittles.
It would make sense.
And the one thing I was trying to kind of figure out, because I mean they call it the Harley Quinn and it fits that Harley Quinn, kind of look. But I don't like, I was reading that actually just as you were on too, but I don't really know if that was, I did read something that this was actually just like Volkswagen trying to demonstrate like their manufacturing techniques of like how quickly they can put cars together and things like that. And I sort of wonder if it was, I mean, in true German fashion, where it's just like they were just doing something to just like show something totally unrelated to all of like, to Harley Quinn, to like the DC comics or whatever. Like it was just an exercise for them. And then all of a sudden, like they were like, hey, you know what this looks like? This looks like Harley Quinn. And then it became this thing. Like,
well, you know what's funny is that as I look at this, there's one picture here where they show the interior. And if you look here, you can see the inside of the panel there, where it's red.
Uh-huh.
So they had to like literally, when they put the car together, probably paint every piece separately and then put it on, because most of the time when you do a car, when you build a car, you kind of go through the painting process where they kind of do the whole subframe and everything, kind of like coat it and all that stuff. And don't they like paint it all and then put it all together like at one time kind of deal?
Yeah, pretty much. And
so
that's
all
usually
these
how
pieces have to be separated. So I think like the just putting them together might take longer because you had to like do all these parts kind of separately and then put them on the car in different colors.
Yeah,
it kind of reminded me of it would be better if they had the Lego logo on there because it has kind of the Lego color kind of color bricks, kind of deal on there. And I could see that if this was like a Lego car for the new Lego movie or something coming out, I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. But I don't see like.
Too bad this was like 20 plus years too soon, but yeah.
I can totally see that. So, but the question is, would you ever drive this?
As a stunt, yeah.
I think I have to put, I put like Skittles or Legos on Lego on there because like otherwise it doesn't make any sense. Like it totally does not make it. Like you think you're a total psychopath if you saw somebody drive this thing or whatever.
What's kind of nice though is that at least like, if you look at the rear quarter panels, like on both sides, it looks like at least like the rear quarter panel on one side matches it's the red versus like on the other
down
side.
The bottom here, where it rolls down the bottom.
Yeah, like I'm just looking at it looks like on the left side in that picture that is probably also red, because that would bother me if it was just super asymmetrical to the point where like even that other side quarter panel was a totally different color. That would just frustrate me. I would look at that every time and just be super frustrated.
That was the thing that frustrated you? That was it, huh?
Yeah, I could put up with everything else, but it's like, just make it like somewhat symmetrical of like where you were putting, like I'm hoping that the door on the left side is also like that teal blue color. Because if that's a yellow door, I'll lose it.
You know this car would really, would do awesome at? I'd say Hillcrest.
That is it.
Chasing the rainbow. That's one thing I can think of, or whatever.
No harm, no foul. But yeah, this would. I mean, and I bet anybody who lives there would definitely agree too. This would be the car for that.
Like you don't need the rainbow sticker. The whole car is the rainbow. It literally is what it is.
Self-explanatory.
That's it. Okay, fantastic. And moving on to last but not least, well, it is the least of all of the like wow factors.
Yeah.
We are talking about the Ford Explorer from way back in the day. And the Ford Explorer had an edition called the Eddie Bauer edition. Here it is, as you can see it right now. And if you're listening to this, it's nothing special. You've seen an Explorer before.
Yeah.
It's literally like, I've seen these on the road, by the way. So the Eddie Bauer Explorer edition from like the early 90s. This one came out in 1991 to 2010, which is like the very box style design, which happened to be the Explorer they used in the first Jurassic Park movie. when the
Mm-hmm.
T-Rex tossed the cars and all that kind of stuff and broke out of its cage. This was the Explorer in this picture here. And the Eddie Bauer edition, it says Eddie Bauer like written in the dash or on the door. And like, I don't know what's special about this car.
And do you're familiar for folks that might not be familiar what Eddie Bauer is, I guess, as a brand, right?
They're like an outdoor apparel. I'm only reading this here because it's here. They are an outdoor apparel company from would they sell like jackets and like tents and hiking boots and things like nothing to do boots. They probably did like tents and stuff, right? Like
yeah, I think it was mainly clothing, but yeah, they kind of branched out probably the other like, you know, but for some reason way back, I know a lot of people heard about these, but I way back I had thought, you know, for some reason when I heard Eddie Bauer, I always thought about Jack Bauer from the show 24.
Wow.
When I first heard that, my mind went straight to Jack. It was like Jack Bauer Edition Explorer. It's like, no, like, this
that'd be kind of crazy
different.
Though.
Yeah. I mean, that would be pretty cool.
I think if you're gonna do a TV show themed car or something, I think it has to be some. I mean, my personal opinion, I think it has some kind of tie. The vehicle has to be tied to the show somehow, like it was used in the show or something like that.
It just can't be just like
a random Ford Taurus with James Bond's car or something.
Yeah, James Bond edition Ford Taurus.
Right, or Nissan Altima. You know,
yeah,
kind of a deal.
Drive like Bond in your Nissan Altima.
That's it. But yeah, I've seen a lot of these on the road, and I've seen a lot of them. I mean, I thought they were a dime a dozen because I saw them all the time. They had these ones, and they had the Ford Bronco versions, and I think they even had the Ford Rangers. Maybe might have had one too, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that one, but I do know for sure the Explorers and the Broncos. And this is before we got the Expedition. But they did. I think they had an Expedition version of this
Expedition
too.
Eddie Bauer, huh?
I'm pretty sure they did because basically what happened was the Ford Bronco kind of evolved into the Expedition because the Expedition took over the Bronco, and so there was no more Ford Bronco. There was the Expedition, which I thought the Expeditions were pretty cool when they first came out. I thought they were super cool. They were slick. They were kind of like that F-150 when the F-150 kind of like that really slick, like shaped like a bullet kind of design. And that's when all the like the Ford Ranger and the Explorer, they all went to that bubbly like bullet design, the front nose. All their vehicles went that way, and that was kind of cool look. And
one thing, curious, are you know about the Big Daddy of all the Ford?
Talk about the
trucks.
Excursion.
Yeah,
is that on the list here? No, it's all Explorers here. This is talking about regular Explorers, and this.
Yeah, but I just googled it just now to see if they made an Eddie Bauer version of the Excursion, and apparently they did. There's a 2004 one on Carfax right now for sale.
Eddie Bauer version have that like a regular one didn't have? Like, what was so special about it?
It really wasn't all that special, and that was mainly the reason why I wanted to include it on there is because it was so much more common than I think a lot of people knew. Like you probably saw them driving around and just thought, oh, it's just another trim level of an Excursion, but from their eyes, like they were, this was like a really cool option of having an Eddie Bauer version. But really, it was like the signature was that two-tone kind of trim, like having that beige trim. And
it looks very outdoorish. Like you see the car, you're like, oh, this guy goes camping for sure.
And that was the whole really persona behind it, which is kind of cool because it's a little bit more of like, if you know kind of deal. Like it's not out there like a Harlequin, VW or.
Thank God for that.
Yeah. It's a little bit more like if you knew who you were and the type of stuff you were into, which was outdoorsy type stuff, these were the trucks for you, like the Bronco, the Excursion, like, it was kind of fitting for that. I guess with the Levi Gremlin, it was kind of the same thing. It's like, if you love you some denim.
But I think you wanted something unique too. Like it kind of goes back to cool cars in general. I'm going to stop sharing the Eddie Bauer stuff. But I think it goes back to cool cars in general is that like you want something that's cool. It looks cool. You enjoy it. It means something special to you. And I think with these brands, they're kind of forcing that special thing onto the car so that like, oh, you love Levi's. This car is all denim, all Levi's, got the Levi's logo on the side. It looks like a Levi. It's super like, And Levi's were super popular back then. Not saying they're not popular today, but they were probably more popular back then. It was like all the thing, bell bottoms and all that kind of stuff. And so it's like, hey, I'm representing, and instead of you going out, I'm sure there's some knucklehead that probably had the idea to do something like that for their car already. Like, I'm going to make all seat covers and Levi's or whatever. So it's probably something not new. But this way, the factory, like you buy the car, you don't have to go through the headache of doing all that stuff to your car. It's kind of something cool and unique that you want to have for your car. It goes back to like modifying your car, really, is what it is. Whole thing's modifications. And but that Harley Quinn thing is ridiculous. Like that thing is like, I mean,
you got some other one-off stuff like that too. Some smart, if you remember the smart car, like I was looking up, I went on a rabbit trail on this stuff, but like there was some like smart car versions that they made, that had wings on them, and they actually had like a Frank Sinatra, like Chevy or whatever, like some little collaboration with Frank Sinatra. But yeah, I think bringing that up about just modifications and like uniqueness is like kind of the heart of it. It's like everybody kind of still wants, even if you throw a bumper sticker on your car, or a custom license plate, or license plate cover, like, you're trying to put something on your car, do something to your car that makes it unique to you. And it is probably to some people that bigger benefit if it came from the manufacturer, that, hey, this is a unique version of this car that can make you feel more unique about the car you have.
That's exactly about my truck. Exactly about my trucks. I mean, I guess I fall in this category because my truck is a Ford F-150 Roush edition, so it's not your typical F-150. And I know they make a gazillion F-150s. You see them everywhere on the road. And this way, mine is different than the other one that's also the same year as mine. It can be the same year and the same trim and everything, but yet mine's still different than that one, because it is the Roush edition. It's Roush badging, packaging, and all the stuff, the wheels, tires, all the stuff that makes it special and unique. So it's not the same as the other one. Of course, you do pay extra for that, I mean, it wasn't cheap, but neither is modifying your car either. If you want to go all nuts on a car, you can totally do that too. Yeah. So, but this has been fun, Courage, man. I like blasts from the past, man. Seeing cars that are fun and unique, and I still think it'd be kind of cool to see at a Cars and Coffee, all three of those. Well, maybe not the Eddie Bauer one, because those are kind of, I mean,
it would just be just brought it, but yeah, no, I mean, if one rolled up, to be honest, now I would like I'm more on the lookout now after going on this again to just see if I see somebody driving an Eddie Bauer edition something around, but. But yeah, like to your point, to see something kind of unique out there amongst, something like, oh yeah, it's like that, but it's not, it's a little different. I think it's pretty cool.
Well, fantastic, dude. Well, links to everything is down in the show notes down below. You can go to coolcarswithchris.com, but don't you worry if you want to go down there. Yeah. You can see links to everything. It's all right there. Courage, where can everybody find all about you and your amazing YouTube channel? By the way, Courage is a big time YouTuber. Like, he's big time in the YouTube space. Hey, tell everybody where your channel is, man.
Wish, yeah, help me become big time. But
you are big time, man. You're bigger than big time.
Yeah, but feel free to check out the Driven Dad 22 Instagram and YouTube. And speaking of this as well, I'm planning to do something on cost of ownership so far with the N, including modifications and things like that as well.
You didn't get your car for free?
Yeah.
What? You
didn't? Man, I wish. That's how you know I'm big time, is if I start getting cars for free. Then
they just give them to you like, we don't need this anymore. By the way, take us off our hands. Real quick on that though, are you leasing or buying your car?
Buying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just had to ask, because a newer car, people could be leasing, and that kind of thing. I one of these days, I want to do an episode on the differences between leasing and buying, pros and cons, that kind of stuff. It'd
be a good discussion, because it's like I personally do feel like there's scenarios for one or the other, just driving habits, how long you hold a car.
I've never leased. I thought about it. I've never leased a car. I knew people who have. I have not. But how it all works or whatever, I don't know. I mean, but anyways, this has been fantastic. And you stay safe driving your cool car. Don't crash it. Don't wreck it. Don't get pulled over. Please don't get pulled over. And be cool if you do. And until next time, we'll catch you later.